Here's what to do and what not to do before the test. First thing that you really want to do is you want to study. You want to study, and study some more. You want to learn all the work that you ever did. You want to go over all your other work that you've done in the past. Make sure that you memorize it. Otherwise, or you don't have to memorize it. You need to make sure that you know it all, though. And then what you really need to know is your toolbox. And you know your toolbox, Bardell is not kidding when he says that. You are going to be tested on your toolbox, and you're going to be tested until your class gets an average of 80% or higher, because it is that important. Everything is on it. The FRQs that you guys are gonna practice, it's gonna be toolbox heavy, because Bardell looks at all these and he puts everything that you need to know onto the toolbox. So you really want to know the toolbox.
When taking the AP Calculus course, you really want to learn how to use your calculator to its max potential. There's so many things having to do with FRQs that if you know how to use your calculator properly, you can do the problem in really more than half the time it would take you to do by hand. A lot of it you couldn't even do without your calculator. So it's vital to learn how to use your calculator to pass the AP exam.
Series, you want to make sure you know, because otherwise, if you don't know them, then you're gonna not be able to do any of the FRQs on them, and the day before the exam, Bardell will take you aside and yell at you so the whole class can hear his disappointment.
No matter what you do, the night before the AP exam, do not stay up late watching Netflix. Study and then get to bed early.
Whatever you do, do not give up. I gave up, and Bardell called me the biggest disappointment of a student he's ever had in his life. It was pretty sad. And it was in front of the whole class, so the whole class got to hear it, and his disappointment in me. So I would encourage you not to give up. You can do this. Bardell trains you. He knows what he's doing.
Now for some tips when taking the test. When taking the test, you want to show all your work, or else you'll get this, a 0. Answers without work do not receive any credit in the FRQ section. Especially make sure you show the calculus. You are taking a calculus AP exam. The calculus is what gets you credit for the work.
Don't be scared. You will triumph and overcome this challenge.
When you're taking the AP Calculus exam, do not use the word it or any other pronoun. Be specific about everything you talk about. You do not call anything the slope. You do not call a graph it. Be specific about what it is, or else you will receive 0 credit.
When you're taking the FRQs, you really want to make sure that you read carefully, because sometimes they like to throw in questions and just say use 1 unit or round to the nearest unit or 10th place instead of the usual truncation at the 3.
When taking the FRQs, keep track of time. You have an average of about 15 minutes for each FRQ.
Never forget your units. If you forget your units, you'll lose a free point.
This example problem shows what 3 things you need when explaining an integral. You have to explain what an integral means, what units the integral is for, and the interval of what the integral is over.
When taking the calculator active portion of the FRQs, do not work out your answers on paper. That is completely pointless when you have a calculator in your hands. With the calculator, all you need to do is write out the basic setup of the problem, and then you can work out the rest with the calculator. So you really need to learn how to use your calculator. Otherwise, you're basically screwed because you're not going to have time to finish the calculator active portion of the FRQs.
When taking the FRQ portion and you come across the series question, and there will be at least one series question, do not skip it. There are easy points in these series questions that you can get.
Alright, even if you're tired, do not go to sleep. That's stupid. You're not going to want to draw pictures because that wastes precious time where you could be working out the problems and seeing mistakes that you've done earlier. You always want to go back and look over the problems instead of drawing pictures of skiers and stickmen and stuff like that. Do not be a troll or a Joshua Abreu and write thank you notes to the graders after you're done. Just don't do that. Please, I'm begging you, please do not do it. It's not going to earn you any extra points.
Instead of doing all this stuff that does not help you on your test, go back and check over your work.